Welcome to the Explainer. Okay, so we've all got a past, right? A whole collection of experiences that have shaped who we are. But here's the tricky part. How do you learn from all that stuff without getting totally stuck in it? Well, today, we're going to break down a really powerful framework for mining the gold from your personal history so you can build an even better future. You know, this quote just nails the tightrope we're all walking. Our past, it's our story, and it's full of these incredible lessons. But man, there's such a fine line between learning from it and, living in it. The whole goal here is to make sure that past is a foundation we can build on, not some anchor just holding us in place. All right, so here's our game plan. We're going to kick things off by talking about how to see through the darkness of those tough experiences. Then we'll get into the real price of life's lessons and figure out the true purpose of pain. After that, we'll see why you absolutely don't have to go it alone. And we'll wrap it all up with the most important step of all, the art of letting go. All right, first up, seeing through darkness. And this is so important. You cannot change what happened in the past. I mean, that's just impossible, right? But what you can do is totally change how you see it. And believe me, that changes everything. I love this metaphor. It's so powerful. When life feels dark, it's almost never because the light has actually disappeared. The sun, that's your potential, your strength, it's always there. The problem is, sometimes our own thoughts, our own perspectives, they start to form these thick clouds that just block the view. And this idea takes that perspective shift even further. Think about it. Even situations that look, well, ugly on the surface, they often have some hidden lesson, some little sliver of good tucked away inside. The real insight here is to start thinking that maybe difficult things are happening for you, not just to you. The wisdom is right there, but only if you're willing to look for it. So this all leads to a really crucial question you can ask yourself. What clouds are currently covering your sun? What thoughts or what moods are defining your reality right now? Because sometimes a simple shift in how you choose to see things is all it takes for those clouds to just part. Okay, so once we've adjusted our perspective, the next step is to get active about learning from life's lessons. But here's the thing. Every single lesson comes with a price tag. And this next part is all about understanding that you actually get to choose what you pay. Let's think of it like this. The school of life is always in session, right? And it offers two different tuition plans. You can learn from the wisdom and the mistakes of other people. That's the free option. Or you can pay full price with your own time, your own energy, your own resources by making those exact same mistakes yourself. And here's a powerful way to reframe this whole thing. You never really fail. You just get a retake. Life gives you chances to learn a lesson, and it's going to keep bringing that lesson up over and over again until you finally get it. The only catch, every single retake costs a little more than the one before. This question really forces us to be honest with ourselves. Are we actually making time to learn from what others have been through, or are we just kind of defaulting to the more expensive path, learning everything the hard way? The choice and, the cost is all yours. Of course, a lot of life's biggest, most profound lessons come wrapped in pain. But it's so easy to misunderstand what pain is actually for. So let's take a look at its real purpose. It's so easy to see pain as the enemy, but if you look at it from a biological and an emotional standpoint, it's actually a gift. Seriously, it's your body's alert system. I mean, imagine putting your hand on a hot stove and feeling nothing. You'd do some serious damage without even knowing it. Pain is that messenger that's screaming, hey, pay attention, something is really wrong here. So when that alarm starts blaring, we basically have three choices. We can try to ignore it and just push through, which, let's be honest, usually makes things worse. We can try to numb it with all sorts of distractions, which just kicks the can down the road. Or we can do the one thing that actually leads to healing. Listen to the message and find the source of the problem. So the real work isn't about fighting the pain. It's about understanding it. Don't just focus on the ouch, listen to the message. Ask yourself, really honestly, what is this pain trying to tell me right now? Okay, so addressing our pain and learning these lessons, it all gets so much easier when we finally realize a very simple truth. We don't have to do it alone. We are not the first people to walk this path. Seeking support, this is not a sign of weakness. It's one of the smartest strategies you've got. Mentors, role models, they give you a whole new vantage point. They let you see possibilities you just couldn't see on your own. Their experience becomes your shortcut, their encouragement becomes your courage, and seeing them succeed, well, that expands your whole vision of what's possible for you. But here's the cool part. It doesn't just stop with you. By learning from the people who came before, you're not just helping yourself, you're literally breaking down invisible barriers for other people. You become living proof of what can be done. And in doing that, you become the giant whose shoulders the next person gets to stand on. So we've finally arrived at the last and maybe the most challenging part of this whole journey, the final act of recovery. This involves two of the most powerful tools for release you can ever have: forgiveness and the art of just letting go. This really gets at a huge misunderstanding about forgiveness. A lot of times we resist it because we feel like it means we're condoning what happened, that we're saying it was okay. But forgiveness isn't for them, it's for you. It's not about validating their actions, it's about invalidating the hold that their actions have on your present. It's the gift of freedom that you give to yourself. And let's be super clear here. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting, and it's definitely not an invitation for someone to hurt you again. A mature approach has 3 key steps. You acknowledge the pain. You seek to understand the situation without blame. And then, and this is critical, you establish firm boundaries for the future. You're not erasing the past, you're just releasing its emotional charge so you can move forward with wisdom. When it comes down to it, the unhelpful part of the past is gone. It's over. Clinging to it is like focusing all your energy on what's dead while ignoring the vibrant life that's happening right here in the present moment. You can be alive, but not really be living if your focus is always stuck on what's already gone. And really, this is the ultimate takeaway. By letting go, by truly burying what's dead and gone, we clear the ground, we get our energy back. And with that freedom, we can finally focus on what really matters. The past is buried. So the real question is, what are you gonna build now?